Jewish thinking on Samaritans. A temple in Samaria, the Israelite view of Samaria. Samaritans were viewed as half-breeds after the Assyrians invaded, captured, and intermarried with them. The Samaritans took on the Assyrian idol worship. Samaritans were viewed as worse than Gentiles because they were viewed as compromising, idolatrous, and half-breeds. Jesus leaves Judea and begins his journey home to Galilee. He stops in Sychar next to Jacob's well and encounters a Samaritan woman. Jews normally traveled a longer route from Judea to Galilee by skirting around the eastern side of Samaria along the Jordan River. John chapter 4 verse 4. He had to pass through Samaria. Shechem was an important town because it was the crossroads for many travelers. Sychar, the location of Jacob's well, was about a mile away from Shechem. Mount Gerizim. This is a view from the top of Mount Gerizim, the place where Samaritans joined together idols and the true God. The Jews went to Mount Gerizim in 128 BC and destroyed the temple built by the Samaritans because it was in competition with the temple in Jerusalem. To this day Samaritan sects offer the annual Passover sacrifice on the top of the mount according to the instructions of Exodus 12. The Samaritans, a Palestinian community, to this day view themselves as displaced Jews. When the Jews of Jerusalem destroyed their temple, they were naturally outraged. And to add injury to insult, the Jews then told them that they could only worship the true God in Jerusalem. The Samaritans felt that they were now considered unworthy stepchildren of Jews. From the time of Gerizim's destruction to the present day, the Samaritans or Palestinians view both Jews and Christians as outcasts, people to be shunned. Jacob's well was on property originally owned by Jacob. It was not a spring-fed well, but a cistern into which water was collected from rain and dew. Wells were always located outside the city along the main road. Twice each day, morning and evening, young women came to draw water. John chapter 4 verses 4 to 6. Abraham was the founder of the Hebrews. Isaac was Abraham's son and the father of Jacob. Isaac's wife Rebekah was found at a well. Jacob well was the place where Jacob's wife Rachel was found. Jacob's name was changed by God to Israel, which means wrestler with God. Jacob, now called Israel, was the father of 12 sons who would form the 12 tribes of Israel. John 4 verse 18. For you have had 5 husbands, and the one you have now is not your husband. Her first 5 husbands may be an allusion to the first 5 conquerors of Samaria: Assyrians, Medes, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks. Rome would be the one who she was living with now. All of the conquerors brought their own idol worship to Samaria. John chapter 4 verse 20. Our ancestors worshipped on this mountain, but you people say that the place to worship is in Jerusalem. Jews believed that valid worship could only take place in Jerusalem. On this mountain, this is a reference to Mount Gerizim's temple, which had been destroyed by you people, the Jews. Jacob's well is now located within an Eastern Orthodox monastery in the town of Nablus.